This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us today. Our top story, a house fire in Sarasota leaves one man in the hospital and several others homeless. That fire broke out around 3 o'clock this morning at a home on Christie Avenue. That's near Fruitville and McIntosh in Sarasota. When crews arrived, the entire house was engulfed in flames. Spokesperson with Sarasota County Fire says 8 to 9 people were living there. A 49-year-old man was flown to the hospital for treatment. We talked to the owner of the home after the fire about what happened.
We were all in bed and sleeping, and the apartment, Carl, apparently, where it started, he came running over and told us all to get out of the house. The house was on fire.
Cause of the fire still not known. The Red Cross is helping those who are now displaced. Sarasota police are investigating a shooting that left one person injured. Police say it happened around 9:15 last night along North Links Avenue in Sarasota. Police say a victim suffered a non-life-threatening injury and is in stable condition today. Police have not released any more information about the victim or if they're currently still looking for a suspect. The state attorney's office is now reviewing a case involving a man accused of shooting his 19 and 12-year-old stepsons. Back in July, detectives say the stepfather and the 19-year-old had been arguing when the teen pulled out a gun. The stepfather was also armed and fired at the teen. Investigators say a 12-year-old was also struck. Bradenton police sent the case to the state attorney's office to be reviewed and determine if any charges should be filed. The two teens both recovered from their injuries. Suncoast hockey fans are celebrating the news that the Tampa Bay Lightning and Lakewood Ranch are teaming up to build a hockey rink. Hockey greats, including Vincent Lecavalier and Dave Anderchuk, on hand for the announcement this morning. The rink will be built at the Premier Sports Campus. The project will be funded by a grant from the National Hockey League and its Players Association.
You're going to have lots of kids playing hockey, and hopefully we have to build another 10 rinks in the next 3 years and just continue to grow the game. And it's not just outdoor hockey rinks. It's there's actually 5 new ice rinks in the 5-county region, and so we're growing the game, and we're excited about that. And we're going to continue to grow it.
Doesn't hurt that the Lightning have the best record in the NHL at this point, and the league hopes these rinks will expand hockey's popularity in each of the league's 31 markets. Manatee County is setting a strict deadline for storm debris pickup. If you live in the county and crews have not yet come through your neighborhood to pick up the limbs and branches left behind by Irma, you must put it by the curb no later than Monday, October 30th. County says more trucks are now on the road, and if all debris is ready for pickup, the whole process will move along quicker. You can also take your yard waste to the Lena Road landfill for free from now until Sunday. Well, the Suncoast is a happy place to live. National Geographic recently ranked the Northport, Sarasota, and Bradenton area as the 14th happiest region in the country. Researchers examined statistics related to healthy eating, lifelong education, civic engagement, financial security, vacation time, and dental checkups. The Naples-Immokalee-Marco Island area was the only other region in Florida to make the top 25. It came in at number 11. And I think everyone is happy today because we have some glorious fall weather finally here on the Suncoast. Meteorologist John Scalzi here with the good news because it's gorgeous outside.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm going to the dentist this afternoon, which according to National Geographic makes me giddy. So, a combination.
Does everyone?
It's fantastic. It's all good. Yeah, I woke up this morning and said, yeah, this is what you're talking about, right? This is what you're talking about. And the fact is, tonight I think it's going to be even a little bit cooler. So, be braced for that when you wake up tomorrow morning. Some of the tried and true Floridians may want to, throw on a light sweater as they head out the door in the early hours because there's going to be a chill in the air, I think, for some folks. Vanaway's webcam put into motion shows a little bit of fair weather cloudiness around, but there's also plenty of sunshine as well. That's helping to boost our temperatures into the mid-70s, but that's it because all that sunshine has to battle against a strong northerly wind. That's kicking up a little bit of cloud cover, but most of it is staying off the coastline now, which is a good thing. That'll bring down more sunshine and make it feel just so incredibly lovely. The drier air has pushed all of the showers down to the south where the frontal boundary is located that brought in these breezy winds today. Small craft advisory up, and we are seeing daytime high temperatures top out no higher, I think, than about 75 degrees. Wind speeds are kind of breezy, though. We've had some gusts about 30 miles an hour or so. Over the next several days, we'll start a warming trend, but then another front is on the way, and we'll talk about that. Plus, an active tropics coming up in just a few. Scott.
All right, John, thank you. President Trump and two key Republican senators are having a very public feud. The senators are accusing the president of undermining American values. ABC's Lana Zak has the latest.
Republican Senator Jeff Flake has declared his independence of the Trump administration.
I rise today to say enough.
After an impassioned speech on the Senate floor Tuesday,
we must stop pretending that the degradation of our politics and the conduct of some in our executive branch are normal.
He is predicting today that more Republicans may stand up to President Trump.
You know, a lot of my colleagues have spoken out, and I think a lot more will.
But in a series of tweets today, the president disagrees, writing Jeff Flake with an 18% approval rating in Arizona said, "A lot of my colleagues have spoken out. Really? They just gave me a standing O." But it's not just Flake. Senator Bob Corker has also been indicting President Trump, who he supported in the election. He blamed him for the debasement of the nation and says he failed to rise to the occasion as president.
Do you think he's a role model to children in the United States?
No. The constant non-truth telling, the name calling, the things like, I think the debasement of our nation will be what he'll be remembered most for.
The unbridled critiques from within the GOP comes at a crucial time for the president, who is trying to woo senators to support his tax plan. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell thinks that the inter-party politics won't derail the Republican agenda.
If there's anything that unifies Republicans, it's tax reform.
President Trump is largely dismissing the critiques of those Republican senators, saying that they couldn't get elected and tweeting that they are now acting hurt and wounded. Lana Zak, ABC News, Washington.
Here at home, a Suncoast man is convicted of killing a little girl who went missing nearly 20 years ago. 46-year-old Keith Wilson found guilty of second-degree murder. He faces up to life in prison when he's sentenced on December 4th. Pilar Rodriguez went missing in Punta Gorda back in 1999. Wilson's then-girlfriend, Melissa Harding Jones, had been Pilar's babysitter. The woman testified that Wilson punched the girl, and she died several days later. Harding Jones previously pleaded guilty to being an accessory after the fact. She faces up to 30 years in prison. Now a video that brought down a sheriff's deputy in Palm Beach County. Surveillance cameras captured Deputy Jason Cook going from room to room through an elderly man's home, apparently searching for prescription pills. Deputy Cook has since been arrested. He's charged with armed burglary and grand theft during an emergency. Cook is also accused of stealing money and jewelry from the person's home. Trappers in Vero Beach capture a 12-foot long alligator right on the beach. Treasure Coast newspapers report the reptile was spotted Sunday night near the Mooring Yacht and Country Club. A trapper says the alligator appeared worn out from trying to get past the waves. The trapper tied up the animal's limbs and covered its eyes. He says Florida rivers are filled with gators, but it's rare to find one on a beach. The Indian River County Sheriff's Office says that gator was relocated. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a Venezuela hospital is fighting to keep its patients alive. We'll show you the struggles in that country. And injection sites for drug addicts. It's a controversial initiative, but it's proving popular in some cities in the Northwest. We'll have more coming up.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So what a remarkable change in 24 hours. I mean, if you think about it, yesterday morning when you woke up, we had a dew point value which was in the 70s. Right now, look, 43, the dew point. Tremendous drop in just 24 hours. You know, thanks to that north wind coming in at about 14. Now we had some gusts as high as 30. I mean, it's a strong wind out of the north drawing down this drier air. Plenty of sunshine around, but even so, the temperature is only holding at about 70 right now, and I don't think we're going to get much warmer than about 75 for a daytime high, if that. The wind's strong enough to continue drawing down this drier, cooler air. And the thing is, those stronger winds, they're going to settle down a little bit tonight, and as they do so toward dawn, our temperatures are going to drop off even cooler than they were this morning, which was kind of nice, I thought, with those temperatures in the 60s. 68 Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, Lakewood Ranch, Parrish at 68, Bradenton the same. Closer to the water, a little bit warmer with 70 in Sarasota, 69, Venice and Longboat Key, and 68 degrees in Inglewood. It's the dew point numbers, though, that just make it feel so tremendously wonderful. And check out these dew point numbers. I mean, I don't know. I'm a meteorologist, so I get very excited by this. But 36 degrees in Pensacola, that is definitely fall. 38 in Jacksonville, 40 in Tallahassee, and that drier, cooler air sinking southward. Even reaching Key West, where they're seeing 67-degree dew points, which I know they are very happy about, and their dew points will drop even further. Miami coming in at 58. So what's happened? Well, we've had two fronts in the last 24 hours move through. The last one now sinking southward across the peninsula. Back behind it, there is another front, and that will be coming through this weekend. That front will lower our temperatures once again and continue this kind of prolonged period of some nicer weather. However, before that front back to the west comes through and brings our little bit of another shot of cooler, drier air, we're going to be watching this cluster of showers down to the south. Now, that's an area that the Hurricane Center continues to monitor for possible development about 5 days down the road. Even if it does develop, it won't develop into a whole lot because as it lifts north, this front approaches, and the upper level winds are just not going to be conducive to any kind of development. It's just going to whisk this thing right out into the Atlantic. But supposing it does develop into a tropical depression, maybe, or certainly a tropical disturbance, what it will do will spread a blanket of moisture across the peninsula of the state. So as this front approaches on Saturday, it's going to wring that moisture out and could lead to a heavy rain event for some part of Florida. We'll wait, we'll watch, and we'll be forecasting that throughout the rest of the week, kind of fine-tuning. But over the next several days anyway, before Saturday comes about, we're going to have these cooler weather. We're going to have breezy conditions for the rest of this afternoon, and we're going to have a few of those Gulf clouds that are fair weather clouds, not really producing any rain showers. There's our cluster of clouds the Hurricane Center watches, giving it a 50% chance of some development over the course of 5 days, and kind of a broad area of where it could travel, but certainly it's moisture plume lifting northward. Like I say, It's unlikely that it could develop into anything significant in terms of a damaging tropical storm, but it could certainly bring us some pretty good rainfall. Futurecast shows those rain showers push to the south, drier air moves in, occasionally a little bit of fair weather cold air clouds off Gulf waters, but no rainfall. In fact, the forecast looks delightful. Those 20-knot winds kind of subside a little bit to about 15 during the overnight, but still choppy conditions out there to rough conditions until those winds subside, so watch for that. And then over the next several days, beautiful. Daytime highs in the 70s, nighttime lows in the 50s, then that good chance of rain on Saturday. But it does serve to knock our temperatures back down into the lower 70s again for the start of next work week. Back to you, Scott.
John, thank you so much. The chaos in Venezuela is taking a very real toll on so many there. And as always seems to be the case, it's the most vulnerable who are paying the biggest price. Paula Newton reports on the children of Venezuela.
The searing reality of Venezuela's upheaval reveals itself right here, in a tender moment between mother and son. Both know it's his only comfort. There is precious little else here to help him. Davis Perez is a very sick 14-year-old boy. Yes, he's 14. He lost 22 pounds in 2 months in hospital. Painful ulcers in his mouth mean he can only take in liquids. Spots that hurt like severe burns cover his body. He can't sleep. He can't even touch his skin, his mother tells me. It hurts so much, he's like a burn victim. It's very bad, she says. There's no medicine. Davis is in renal failure and needs dialysis to survive. Dialysis that in this hospital is not compromised by old filters and contaminated water. He is now suffering from a bacterial infection that his mother Sandra says has spread. There is no replacement catheter or even a surgical theater to do the procedure. This is Davis as a healthy teenager, now barely recognizable and clearly in pain. I have to find strength where I don't have it, Sandra tells me. It hurts to see him like this. I never thought he would go through this. I try to give him strength to go forward with me. She tells me I want everyone to see what's happening with us here. We visited this pediatric hospital in downtown Caracas a year ago. Hospital staff was improvising, lacking everything from antibiotics to surgical gloves. Even the ceilings in intensive care were crumbling, a symptom of plunging oil prices which took Venezuela's economy with it, making things like food and medicine a luxury. The government denies the crisis and said it is exaggerated by the media. And this year, when we returned, conditions had only gotten worse. The director of this pediatric kidney unit tells CNN infected children, including Davis, were isolated and that his infection was under control. However, she said they lack basic supplies, and Venezuela's Ministry of Health has not responded to the hospital's request for those supplies. The ministry did not respond to CNN's request for comment. The director says 8 children have died so far this year, and Davis is one of them. A few weeks after we left his bedside, he died of hypovolemic shock. His blood levels were too low. His mother says he was in pain to the last, and she blames the government. Sandra says she's sad, angry, and has an enormous emptiness in her heart, in her soul. Paul Newton, CNN, Caracas.
Doctors in Guatemala have successfully separated Siamese sisters. The procedure lasted about 15 hours. It was performed by a total of 70 professionals. The girls were united by the thorax and, according to experts, shared the large intestine and liver. The sisters were born in August in a town in eastern Guatemala. As the nation continues to fight the opioid epidemic, a controversial idea has entered the conversation. A number of American cities like Seattle, San Francisco, and others support the idea of a safe injection site. This is a place to safely use drugs to reduce the number of opioid overdoses. Users would be monitored and can be saved with medication which can reverse an overdose. A site in Vancouver has reported more than 3 million visits there and not one single death. The rates of overdose in the surrounding downtown area dropped by 35%, and users were 30% more likely to get addiction treatment.
He's going to do it whether he wants to do it or not, whether he's going to do it under the bridge where they go, or if he's going to go in my bathroom and do it. At least there, I know that people are watching over him, and if he does overdose, he's not going to die. because they're going to be able to save him.
In 1 year, more people in the United States died from drug overdoses than from guns or car accidents. Coming up, John Scalzi will have more on the Urbanite Theater's latest cutting-edge production. That's next.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Do you have type 2 diabetes, which requires daily blood monitoring? If you have diabetes, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for diabetic testing supplies at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. Our accredited staff will handle all of your paperwork for free. And best of all, your diabetic testing supplies are shipped directly to your home for free. Call now to see if you qualify for a meter upgrade and a free pedometer to monitor your daily walking. Use alternate testing sites, a smaller blood sample, and even hear your results out loud. Will you qualify for diabetic testing supplies and an upgraded meter covered by Medicare, Obamacare, or health insurance at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you?
Find out for free by calling the Diabetes Resource Center at 1-800-394-1098. That's 1-800-394-1098, 1-800-394-1098.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information when severe weather threatens the Suncoast. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
Opening with a production of White Rabbit, Red Rabbit. Fantastic, interesting show. And joining us is the co-artistic director of the theater, Summer Wallace. Summer, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
I have always enjoyed you when I've seen you on stage. You're quite an amazing actress, and you have done this show in the past, and now you guys are bringing it to the Urbanite.
Yes, we had the opportunity. We did a co-production of the show with the Ringling International Arts Festival. So we had 4 performances as part of RIOF, and now there's going to be 10 performances at Urbanite.
All right, let's talk about this show, because it's real. I've never heard anything like it. I mean, there's no rehearsal.
Zero rehearsal, zero director. It's a different performer every single night. It's the same script, but a different actor. The actor has never seen the script before.
So what do? Do you have to wall them off in a location?
No, we just
remote from
so part of the rules of the show, if you happen to have seen it or done it, you're not allowed to do it.
Okay, cool.
So you only get to do it once.
Wow.
Once. So an audience member will give the script to them. They'll pass it off to the actor. The actor has to open the script in front of the audience and perform it in its entirety.
Oh my goodness. Now you've done this, so
I have.
I've got to only think that this is at one time very, very exciting and at the same time completely terrifying.
It's amazing, horrible, exciting, all at the same time. Yeah. And as an actor, it's very fun because it makes you be in the present, because you can't even remember what just happened, because you're in the next section of the piece.
Mm-hmm. Can you, without giving us any kind of a spoiler, can you give us some idea of what the show is kind of like? Is it a comedy, tragedy? You know?
It's a little bit of both. So the playwright is an Iranian playwright, Nassim Suleimanpour, and so it dabbles about him and his life for a little bit, but it has some dramatic moments. It has some very fun moments. The audience gets involved a little bit, and because there's 10 different performers, it's a different experience every single evening.
Oh, sure.
So an audience who sees it on Wednesday might see a very different show on Saturday.
Oh,
and that's what
neat.
makes it so exciting and so cool.
And where have you found your actors? Are they all local, or are you bringing some of them in, or how's that working?
That's a great question. So it's a combination of actors all over the Florida region. So we've got actors coming in from St. Pete, Tampa, artistic directors from St. Pete.
Neat.
We have some actors coming in from Orlando as well as South Florida as well. So it's kind of a celebration of the amazing artists that we have in the state.
Oh, fantastic. And when is it already open?
We open this evening.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Big night.
Woohoo! And then it runs through November 5th.
Okay, and tickets still available?
Tickets are still available.
Okay, well, it sounds absolutely fascinating, like no show I've ever seen, for sure.
It's it's a unique experience for the audience because they're only going to experience this show like this once.
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 Yes. And so too is the actor doing it.
Yeah, yes.
Kind of neat. Okay, scoot on down to the Urban Night Theater and pick up your tickets and check out a show that you're unlikely to ever see again. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Let's get over to the kitchen now and check in with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. See what she's cooking for us today. Judy?
Well, it's a special day on my kitchen set today because my buddy Larry Barrett from Simply Gourmet, the man of all jokes and great talent for cooking and catering, welcome back to Chef Judy's Dish.
It's fantastic to be here. It's always a pleasure to be with you, my dear.
I get the best cooking tips with the fresh ideas that you make. So what are you going to prepare today?
Today, it's a chilled coconut soup with fruit jewels. We just served it to 150 people as an amuse-bouche at a wedding. And it was great.
Door.
It was great.
Well,
People loved it.
We're going to serve it to you in just a few minutes. So stay with us. We're coming back for some delicious, how do we say it again?
Chilled coconut soup with fruit jewels.
Oh, I love it. The fruit jewels. We're coming right back for fruit jewels. We'll be cooking in a minute.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Get the lowest prices of the year during the Ram Power Days event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-620-2254. That's 1-800-620-2254.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters.
Call the IVC Filter Hotline if your loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
I went in skeptical and came away impressed.
Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a segment best.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Now to a developing story in Michigan where 5 teens, one 17 years old, the rest 15 years old, are charged with second-degree murder and now face life in prison if convicted. The teens are accused of throwing large rocks from an overpass and killing a 32-year-old father. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more.
5 teens are now facing life in prison after pulling a prank that went horribly wrong.
Something came through the windshield. He's now unconscious.
Police say the group was playing a game called dinging, throwing more than a dozen rocks at cars from this Michigan overpass.
It was not a prank. It was a deadly affair.
One of them, a 6-pound rock, striking Kenneth White in the head and chest, killing the father of 4 on his way home from work.
And he keeps asking about his daddy. And to tell him he's not coming back.
All 5 have pled not guilty to the charges of second-degree murder and have hired separate attorneys.
He's a teenager who's one day thinking about girlfriends and, like I said, prom. His world's turned upside down.
ABC's chief legal analyst Dan Abrams says each teen could face different penalties depending on age and who is found most responsible, but he doesn't expect total leniency.
There is absolutely an argument for second-degree murder here, and that is it was an intentional act and there was reckless disregard for human life, and under the law of Michigan, they're old enough to be considered adults.
Adolescents, by and large, are more impulsive, more likely to do things without thinking through their consequences.
For White's family, there is no excuse.
Even if they spend 30 years in prison, they get to wake up every single morning. My son don't get none of that no more. That was taken away from him for something stupid.
The teens are currently being held without bond and are expected back in court November 2nd. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Senate Republicans have killed an Obama-era rule that made it easier to bring class action lawsuits against banks and credit card companies. Vice President Mike Pence casting the deciding vote to break a 50-50 tie. This wipes out a rule that affects tens of millions of Americans who often don't know they are covered by an arbitration clause when they sign up for a credit card or a checking account. Banks and credit card companies use such clauses to avoid bringing a dispute to court. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau wanted to bar companies from using those clauses, but critics say other alternatives could have been considered. Let's get another check on our gorgeous weather outside with meteorologist John Scalzi. And I mean, who would have a complaint about today?
Oh, my dogs are so frisky.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did you notice that?
Everyone feels it.
Oh, they just want to play, play, play. Yeah, I think everybody does, and everybody was ready for it too, because we had such a prolonged period of warm days, you know, and muggy days as well. So it's nice to get that lower humidity air in here. And it's going to last for a couple of days as well. Lakewood Ranch webcam put it in motion, shows a little bit of cloud cover around. We did have some clouds, kind of giving way, though, to a little bit of drier air and some clearer skies, especially in inland areas. Right along the immediate coast, we're still catching some of those cold air clouds coming in off Gulf waters near the immediate coast. But a lot of that drier air over land is filtered in and produced some very nice blue skies out there. Anyway, those clouds are not rain producers, and they're certainly not going to prevent the colder air from bringing us a significantly chillier night, I think, tonight than we had this morning. This morning we were in the 60s, mid-60s. I think tonight we'll probably be in the mid-50s. So for some people, kind of cool. A lot of the showery activity still over near Atlantic waters, but there's no way we're going to see any rainfall for the next couple of days. Our daytime high today, probably around 75 degrees, significantly below average for this time of year. Haven't said those words in a while. And those below average temperatures are going to last for a couple more days. We'll start a warming trend as we head into Friday, but then guess what? Another front comes our way. This is kind of the time of year when you start to expect to see these frontal passages every 3 to 5 days or so. And that's exactly what we're going to see over the course of the next 3 to 5 days. And we will talk all about that coming up in just a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. 2 people are dead after a shooting on the Grambling State University campus. Police say the men were found dead early this morning near 2 dormitory buildings. Both victims were 23 years old and seniors at the historically African-American school in Louisiana.
There's no place for violence on the Grambling State University campus. We always encourage our students to be safe, to be aware, to watch who they hang out with, and to watch who's around at all times. And this is a most unfortunate situation.
A spokesman for the sheriff's office says a suspect left the area after the shooting. The FBI is releasing information that provides some insight into the man behind the Sandy Hook massacre. Adam Lanza was focused and obsessed with mass murders and spree killings. That's according to a woman who befriended the 20-year-old online prior to the 2012 shootings. The woman also claims Lanza spent most of his time researching and discussing mass killings. She described him as extremely intelligent but very depressed. Lanza killed 20 first graders and 6 adults at the elementary school. He also killed his mother at their house prior to taking his own life. A former school aide and track coach in Maryland, accused of sexually assaulting underage students while being HIV positive, is now facing even more charges. Carlos Bell now has a total of 206 charges against him on accusations of assaulting 42 students and recording it on video. Prosecutors say the victims range in age from 11 to 17 years old. The state is not aware of any alleged victim testing positive for HIV. The alleged abuse spanned from 2015 to June of this year. Bell was arrested in June following a 6-month investigation.
A student's parent observed suspicious text messages on their child's phone that were sexual in nature.
Was working for Charles County Schools as a middle school instructional assistant as well as a high school track coach. If found guilty, he faces life in prison. A television actress is accusing former President George H.W. Bush of touching her inappropriately. People magazine and others reporting that Heather Lind said in a now deleted Instagram post that the incident took place while she was posing for a photo with Bush during a promotional tour for her TV series. Lind appears alongside Bush, who's seated in a wheelchair, in a photo together at a Houston screening of the series back in 2014. A spokesperson for Bush tells the Associated Press that President Bush would never, under any circumstance, intentionally cause distress to anyone. And just a reminder that if you want to stay up to date on the latest breaking news and see alerts sent to your phone, iPhone and iPad users will need to download our new news app. Just go to the App Store and search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users will get the new version automatically. Let's get back to the kitchen now and check in again with Chef Judy Gallagher and her guest today.
Well, welcome back. I'm really happy to have my friend Larry Barrett from Simply Gourmet in the kitchen. Great idea to make a chilled coconut soup. So how do we get started with this?
Very simple. There's just a couple of interesting products we need to use. Most of the stuff you can pick up at the local grocery store or the Asian market.
Love it.
This is a coconut cream, but it's half cream, half milk.
You say cream and I say I'm in. I'm not one of these half and half girls. I am the full cream type of person.
And it's not a cream,
Right.
milk cream, but a coconut cream, and it's just very, very nice.
And you
But
can
like
get
that?
them at the Asian stores.
Yes,
Great
oh God.
idea.
That one, the Maploy brand, is the best.
Love it.
For everything.
You're right.
Then
for
look at
everything.
this, a little something we'd make a pina colada out of.
Hey!
Right, a little Coco Lopez. Ole, ole.
So not like you've made a few pina coladas.
Maybe in
earlier.
my lifetime. Maybe in my lifetime.
Maybe.
And then this, 1 can of that, 1 can of
So
this.
it's a small can?
Yeah, and that's
This
all
is
the
our-
measuring. This is the measuring we're doing,
So
right?
listen, folks, this is something you can impress everybody with. And you know, Larry, what you mentioned earlier was you made it for 150 people for an amuse-bouche. That's that tiny little bite or taste that you get in the beginning. You can buy the little shot glasses.
Oh, fantastic.
You know?
We do it all
Love
day
doing
long.
that.
We do it all day long. Equal amount of half and half.
Oh, this is, I mean, it's definitely decadent, but
Right.
super easy.
And
so
tropical
give it a
for
stir.
us. Give it a stir. That's
How do we
perfect.
know when it's done? Does it need to come to a slight boil?
You know,
or?
we'll boil it. and then simmer it, and then you're going to let it steep for about a half of an hour. Now, this is a nice little tip here. This is going to take about 5 or 6 nice, big, thick slices of ginger.
Ooh.
Now, before you use the ginger, one thing I like to do is just give it a little smash.
That's what we're expressing, like lemongrass.
Can you get that?
Yeah.
Oh, right, just like this, just from here.
You're singing my song. I love ginger too.
And then we put that right on in.
Nice.
That's where the steeping comes in.
Okay.
Then we've got ourselves some lime. If you have kaffir lime, that's okay. I don't go through the hassle. I say use a regular lime.
Okay.
Look, a zester.
My favorite kitchen tool in the world is a zester.
And it's beautiful because, look, a beautiful little garnish on top, but we're going to use this in the soup.
Oh, bringing this is really like almost like an Indonesian flavor.
It gives it a little bit of a special something. Sometimes people have a little trouble putting their finger on exactly what it is.
And that's my favorite, when you say, now what was that little hint?
What is that in there, right?
I love it.
And that goes in.
Oh,
Then
wow.
we cut our lime in half. I just use one lime for this. Once you've zested that lime, it's perfectly good. It's going to last in the fridge for a long time.
And it looks pretty if you cut it in half and put it on a platter.
Oh, yeah. No question about it, right?
Okay, so
And
we've
then
got the juice of 1 lime.
Right. Then a very important ingredient, shredded coconut.
Sweetened or unsweetened?
Slightly sweetened.
Okay.
Slightly sweetened, not overly sweetened, because you've got that nice coconut milk in there, right? And this, though, gives it that natural flavor and a depth of flavor you can't just get by using 1 or 2 of those products. Now, here comes a very interesting little deal here, some cardamom.
Ooh!
And cardamom.
About 30 seconds left.
Like that. Now give that a stir.
Cardamom, great.
Give
Love
that a little
flavor.
stir.
Okay.
And you could see we've got some of these already plated up. But what we're going to do now, you bring that to a boil, put it to a simmer, then let it hang there for a half hour, pour it into a strainer. And the most important technique I can tell you about is push it through the strainer.
Get that flavor. Larry, I hate to say it, we're out of time.
Watch this.
So this is after it's been chilled. Martini glass, or even a rocks glass, or those mini shot glasses.
Woo.
Strawberries, blueberries, pistachio nuts,
use whatever you want. A shot of rum if you need to.
I think you need to. You can go to mysuncoast.com, click on the recipes. You'll get to see the recipe, Larry in person, sort of, on video. And don't forget to join our newsletter, and you might win a $50 gift card to one of our favorite restaurants right here on the Suncoast and Simply Gourmet. Larry, as always, you nailed it, dude.
Oh, thank you so
Boom.
much, Judy.
Happy cooking.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small.
I mean, really moves me.
One.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
70-degree air temperature and a dew point that is beautiful at 43. We have a lot of sunshine out there right now, a few fair weather clouds, and a northeast wind that's kind of breezy, 14 mile per hour. But we've had some gusts over the last couple of hours that have been over 30. So, significant wind gusts. Temperatures across the region, 70 in Bradenton, 69 in Parrish, 70 Myakka, 70 Arcadia, 69 in Myakka City. 70 in Northport, 69 Punta Gorda, 69 in Boca Grande. I think we'll see some temperatures in inland areas today that will be in the low 50s tomorrow morning for a nighttime low. And I think locally we'll see some temperatures in the mid-50s. So some very significantly cooler air not only coming down, but also some drier air. Our dew point values, look at there, in the 30s to the north of us, and all of that kind of sinking southward. 43 dew point in Sarasota right now, 42 in Orlando. Even down in Key West, as I mentioned, in Miami, the dew points have lowered. And the reason, of course, is the motion of a couple of frontal boundaries that have been through over the last 24 hours. The second front now sinking well to our south. High pressure building in with cooler air in the forecast for us. Now, a couple of things that we are watching. Over the next several days, we'll watch this high pressure ridge and this northerly wind bring us delightful weather. Daytime highs in the mid-70s, cool, crisp nights, pleasantly warm afternoons, especially I think tomorrow as the wind speeds kind of die down a little bit. But over the long term, as we head into Saturday and Sunday, we'll be watching this frontal boundary approach the area. And as that front approaches, we'll be watching what happens with this amount of moisture in the Caribbean. That will probably lift northward, overspread the Florida Peninsula. And then as that front comes through on Saturday, perhaps bring a heavy rainfall event to some parts of the state of Florida, most likely the southern tip of the state, but it's too early to tell exactly where that will be, who will get the most amount of rainfall, and whether or not we'll see any development in this system. The Hurricane Center gives it about a 50% chance of some form of development, probably not much, as it lifts northward into Gulf waters and then gets picked up very quickly by that front and whisked out into the Atlantic. That happens Saturday and Sunday for us, and then it's out in the Atlantic and gone, with the front moving through and cooler temperatures coming again for next work week. So today, cooler, breezy, and a few Gulf clouds around. There's our cluster of clouds down to the south, 50% chance of development as it lifts north. We'll keep you posted on that throughout the day. Our futurecast shows some pretty nice clearing taking place here, but we'll see a little bit of cloud cover. These cold air clouds, as the cold air comes over the warmer Gulf waters, picks up these clouds and kind of slings them back in this direction. And we'll see that again tomorrow, most likely. By Thursday, that high pressure ridge moving out into the Atlantic will kind of switch our winds around, so I don't think we'll have as much cloud, but on Friday we'll get a few more clouds around, partly cloudy skies. Certainly by tomorrow morning, I think we'll see some of these wind speeds start to die down. But for the rest of the afternoon, they'll still be kind of breezy, and boaters should pay attention to that. Perhaps a little bit more offshore as we head into Thursday. Forecast calls for those north winds at about 20 to decrease to 15. Still kind of choppy out there on bay and inland waters this afternoon. And the forecast for the rest of the week keeps us in those mid-70s for a couple of days. Nighttime lows, cool, crisp 50s, a little bit warmer on Friday. And then we're fine-tuning that Saturday forecast for the potential of some pretty good rainfall around some parts of the state. And then cooler. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, if you want to see the LA Dodgers take on the Houston Astros in person at the World Series, it's going to cost you plenty of money. According to ticket price tracking service called Ticket IQ, prices for last night's series opener in Los Angeles were averaging more than $1,800 a ticket. That may seem like a bargain as the series progresses. The average price for all 4 possible games in Dodger Stadium is about $3 grand. Fans in Houston are paying about $1,000 less for tickets to the 3 games that could be played there. Last year, fans paid about $6,500 to watch the Chicago Cubs take on the Cleveland Indians in Game 5. Shares in Chipotle plunging this week on Wall Street, down more than 9% just yesterday. The company reported a loss in revenue due to Hurricanes Harvey and Irma. They also cited financial impacts from a malware attack in April. Chipotle shares are down about 14% for the year. The NAACP says black people may want to avoid American Airlines, according to an advisory issued last night. The The organization has seen a pattern of disturbing incidents reported by African American passengers specific to American Airlines. The NAACP says it appears the carrier may have, quote, a corporate culture of racial insensitivity and possible racial bias. An airline spokesperson says the company is committed to providing a positive, safe travel experience for everyone. Still to come in your Suncoast News, more allegations against producer Harvey Weinstein. Well, the latest on the person coming forward now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Did you know that Sarasota County was the first in Florida to be recognized as an age-friendly community? Whether you're 22 or 82, we strive to be the best place to live, work, and play. A community rich with opportunities and things to do for people of all ages. On Saturday, October 28th, we're advancing this movement with a free community event featuring live entertainment and hands-on experiences. You won't want to miss our entire community coming together for an age-friendly festival presented by the Patterson Foundation.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
A pioneer of rock and roll has passed away. Pianist and singer Fats Domino dying at the age of 89. Back in the 1950s, Fats Domino became the face of popular music at the height of segregation. He played songs with New Orleans rhythm and blues that transformed into rock and roll and appealed to both black and white audiences. Domino had 35 top 40 hits, including Ain't That a Shame, Blueberry Hill, and I'm Walkin'. Actor Robert Guillaume died Monday night in Los Angeles. The 89-year-old was best known for portraying the level-headed Benson Dubois in the TV show Benson, which ran from 1979 until 1986. That role won him an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy in 1985. Guillaume was also a prominent voice actor. He battled prostate cancer during the last 2 years of his life and leaves behind a wife and 4 children. Another of Harvey Weinstein's accusers is going public with her allegations of sexual assault against the movie producer. In a press conference with her attorney, Mimi Halei, detailed her interactions with Weinstein over the years. She says she met Weinstein in 2004 and claims he sexually assaulted her in 2006. Weinstein has not commented on the woman's accusations. Her attorney has written to the Weinstein Company board asking for a meeting.
As soon as Mr. Weinstein completes his therapy and returns to either New York or Los Angeles, we urge him or his representatives to contact me to discuss our plan for justice for victims. Vague apologies are not enough.
More than 40 women have accused Weinstein of inappropriate behavior ranging from sexual harassment to rape. 3 University of Houston students are going to the World Series for free thanks to Ellen DeGeneres. A huge crowd gathered at the university yesterday to see the talk show host. She said on Twitter that attendees should wear the biggest outfit for a chance to win. 3 friends won tickets to Game 4 in Houston on Saturday. Ellen's ticket giveaway show will air this afternoon. That's a pretty popular thing to do when your team is in the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
That is neat. Cool tonight, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I think for some folks, it will be kind of shocking tomorrow morning when they get up with temperatures in the mid-50s, and in the inland areas, I think it'll be even cooler than that, probably low 50s for a lot of folks. But the daytime highs will rebound nicely into the 70s, and over the course of the weekend, of course, we're going to be watching the tropics, see what happens down there, see how the moisture increases across the state, and whether or not the precipitation forecasts indicate a significant rainfall for some part of the state.
Okay, John, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy that weather out there. Have a great day, and we'll see you again at 5.